Okay, I'm very excited to be talking with Brittney Castro. She is the founder and CEO of Financially Wise Women based in Los Angeles. Her goal is to teach women and couples, in fact, the art of managing their money, and she says in kind of a fun and simple way. Brittney, I got to dive in with this question. If you talk about financially wise women, what are you doing with couples?
Oh, great question. I'm doing the same thing with couples. It's just usually the woman will find us first and schedule the initial call with our
Oh,
teams.
why is that? Why do women find you first?
Well, one, I think the fact that we're marketing mainly to women is, popping up in their Google searches. So it's like we actually are hoping that the woman is searching for a financial planner, women, and we naturally pop up and they immediately relate to our company and what they find online about us.
Got it. So let me ask you a question as a one CFP to another. Both you and I are certified financial planners. I think our approach is very similar in the way we deal with clients in that we try to get them into the planning mode to think about their goals before they start trying to figure out what investments they should choose. One of the things I find today, even today, and I'm quite frankly a little bit surprised, is that the men still seem to kind of take charge of the meetings. It doesn't make sense. And I would have thought there'd be changes already. Is this your experience too, or is it maybe different in Israel compared to LA?
It's interesting that you say that, and it really depends on the couples themselves. But I would say that it actually is a little bit more toward the other way here in
No
Los
kidding.
Angeles specifically. I think there's a lot of powerful women in the workplace and, attorneys, professionals. They're kind of also leading in the financial discussions for the household. It doesn't mean it's the only way, but I definitely know that the type of clients that we're serving are the women who are seeking this information, want more help with the finances, and kind of the ones in charge of those financial management discussions.
Okay, great. So that on my side of the ocean, it seems to be a little bit more that the men try to take control. All the way on the West Coast, it's the women that take control. So I bet in New York, it's probably very 50-50, somewhere in
Yeah.
the middle. So what are some of the issues then that you deal with specifically related to women in terms of investing?
With women specifically, I would say that a lot of women are really shy about this conversation with investing. And it's really interesting because a lot of the women I actually work with are investing in their 401k plans, retirement plans at work, but they still don't see that as an investment. And they still don't really even understand how it's going to help them reach their retirement goal. So I think there's just this overall sense that women don't really feel empowered with investing, don't really feel like they've found financial firms who help them learn the language of investing. Therefore, they're really lacking the confidence. Even if they're already doing it, they still think
Mhm.
they're not doing it or not doing enough. And a lot of what we're doing is educating women on this idea that investing can be easy. You can really enjoy it. You can be really good at it. And you already are doing it. So just acknowledge the fact that you're doing it already and take it to the next level and get more clarity about what you can do moving forward to enhance it, or more clarity on, how to just take it to the next level in general.
We're talking with Brittney Castro, a certified financial planner. She's the founder and CEO of Financially Wise Women. We've been talking about the way that women actually get involved in the investment world. And sometimes it seems, Brittney, the way you're describing it, they don't even realize how involved they are. And yet they really are. And they have to start making some more educated decisions. So if you're going to advise someone to start to do some really smart things right now, what would be the number one thing someone should do, I guess a man or a woman, who wants to make sure that she's going to have a financially secure future?
Of course, my answer is biased, but you'll appreciate it. Hire a certified financial planner.
All right.
I
Well, tell me
mean,
why. And obviously, I agree with you, but let's
yes.
actually explain why that's important.
Well, the importance of it is a CFP professional, someone who's actually done extra studies and school, education courses, sat for a board exam to get this designation. So usually what I find is these people are very passionate about financial planning and really helping their clients in all areas of their financial life, not just investing, not just insurance, not just saving. And to put it into perspective, I don't know what it is actually in Israel, but in the US, less than 20% of the financial advisors out there are certified financial planners. So there is a reason to work with a certified financial planner. And I think it's just because this person will help you look at the big picture, look at everything, look at what you're already doing with savings, investing, where you want to go financially speaking, and then just help you get there. A good certified financial planner is going to care enough to educate you on the solutions and help you figure out the right solution. And I think when you invest the time, money, and energy to hiring a certified financial planner, you also help prevent a lot of mistakes that could happen down the road with your investment plan or whatever it is, because you didn't have that clear picture and game plan that you were working on.
I think it's a great point about the education. This is, in fact, something that I learned from my mother, who was a financial advisor. She started 30, 40 years ago. In fact, she and I were partners for a while on Wall Street.
Wow.
This was before the whole CFP thing became big, but she somehow managed to understand this concept of educating clients. And when I started in the business, that's what she taught me. She said, you know something? As an advisor, you can't tell people which stocks are going to go up or down. You have no idea, right? We don't have prophecy. And we're here to service the client. But the real way to service the client is to get to know what his situation is and then give advice that makes sense for who he is. And don't let the brokerage firm try to push you to sell some product, and don't just sell the easiest thing. It's really seeing yourself as working for the client as opposed to working for the company. And I think that's what a lot of financial planners, obviously I think CFPs as well, but people who really take the time to get to understand the client and educate the clients so that they ultimately are the ones making the right decisions. I'm with you on that.
Good. Yeah.
All right. So that was thing number one, hire a financial planner. That was the first thing. What's the second step that you would say that someone's going to end up doing who wants to have a financially secure future?
Definitely analyze your budget and get the right budgeting system in place. This comes with a lot of emotions and behavior management, because I think this is pretty basic. We all know the fact that we need a budget to manage our money every month and really figure out how are we spending our dollars? Is it in alignment with what we say is important to us? How do we find ways to save more money for the goals that we have? So I know this sounds basic, but the reality is most people still don't have a good budgeting system in place, and therefore they constantly struggle with this idea of I'm not saving enough, or I'm not even sure that what I'm saving is appropriate for the goals that I have, or I'm not even able to save at all because I'm mismanaging my funds. What I like to just remind clients that I work with is that a budget is simply a tool. It really just gives you more information. If you're not making enough money, it'll help you get clear about how much more money you need to make the budget work. Or if you are making the appropriate amount of money, but you're just misallocating the money towards things that aren't important to you, or reduce some of your expenses so that you can save a little bit more for those goals that you have, then the budget gives you that awareness to make those changes. But the hard part about a budget is it brings up the emotions of money. It gets very stressful for people. There's a lot of anxiety and overwhelm that goes into budgets. And I think when you really can move past that and look at this budget as a tool, as something that's going to be around for the rest of your life, no matter how much money you're making now, then you begin to see it differently, and you see it as a vehicle to refine the systems that you're already doing, or get new systems in place to help set those appropriate boundaries and ways to prevent you from getting in your own way, basically.
Right. People often end up getting their own way and really end up ruining themselves financially. That's, of course, a huge topic that a lot of financial planners look at, is to help people to develop a system for managing their money so it's not an emotional decision every time they have to choose something. Brittney, something? The two takeaways that I think people have today are working with a professional financial planner, a CFP, and also getting a good budget system in place. But I know that you actually have a lot more that you teach. Unfortunately, we're just about out of time now. Tell me, in the last few seconds, how can people follow you and follow your work?
Please visit me, financiallywisewomen.com, and that's plural. Just visit me and you'll see all my social media handles, and you can schedule a time to connect with me. So we have tons of valuable information on our website.
Okay, we will put a link to that at the show notes of today's show at goldsteinongelt.com. Brittney Castro, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Doug, for having me. I appreciate being here.
You've been listening to the Goldstein on Gelt Show with money maven Doug Goldstein. Check out all of Doug's money ideas at goldsteinongelt.com. Doug specializes in helping people who live outside the United States handle their U.S. investment accounts. If you have a question that you would like answered on the air or off, contact Doug at his website or send him an email to doug@profile-financial.com.